Hello, Kathy Vic deeply awake. This one has been quiet all day. A funny feeling, something that's very hard to break out of. There's much to do tomorrow as a result of this. However, it has been important because there has been an amplification of energies. This has been a process of a few days, we say. And we would say that some people just go through this, sometimes. And this is a big activating time for this one. And we are so close to being complete. It is really not a matter anymore of doing a lot of processing. No, that's not what it is. No. It is simply having more spare time. Knowing when to be safe and free of worry. So, different reality and getting used to this. It is a lifetime spent regulated, which is being modified, and it requires emotional changes and lack of judgment. It also involves industry. This one is not industrious. Oh my God. She did give the client the video on the sloth sin series of sloth, and because this is a very charged issue, so yes, oh well, the struggle continues. It's a small struggle. It's so silly. And an invitation to love. Hello, baby. Okay, it's so sweet. Why are we here? Well, we tell you. This one is hungry for one of those activation thingies. We were talking to her about this and how it's, oh my God, I got to feel this. This is so gross. It feels so bad. And it's kind of scary. And then, oh yes, a little bit of time passes and it's, I wish I could feel that again. So, we have been counseling her for over a week to please spin and to get used to the idea that things can happen as she sits and spins. Yes, and we will make a little side note, and we've mentioned it one other time, and we said it in such an irreverent way because she got a hit of this spin and it made us so intoxicated truly, until she had that casino experience and the Christmas Eve experience. Well, it's funny, but these are big deals. So, spinning, that truly is nothing like spinning, and it is the spinning of the Merkaba. It is this is a very important part of everything, and it involves the being able to run the energy both ways, and it's still a little sluggish going the left to right. Is that it's a counter, whatever. Is it clockwise, left to right? Yes, it's clockwise. We don't like the clockwise. We like the counterclockwise. Yes, this is how we spin, and so the clockwise, this is the land, this is the additional spin, and we would say that yes, you must have the 8 chakra system, golden ray, indigo seat. It looked like a well, it actually looks like a throne, and when the person sits down, there is a halo behind, one of those gold thingies, and the ray is gold. This is the property, it is the connector to the body habitus of the multidimensional, and you see, it is amplified in the pelvis and with the women and the yoni. Well, this is a direct link. It is a biological fact. And so this is why the women contain the ancient knowledge, they have it built in. And we have said the men, well, this is possible for the men, of course, to be as open. Of course, this is not a competition, but the male must open the heart and do the other things, become a multidimensional, and it is a process. But this is the 8, and the spin that goes with the 8. This one and her friend, who both have activated DNA. Well, they talk about the gyroscope. It's a gyroscopic kind of reality. It is a double-sided Mobius strip that is amplified. And so, yes, the spin is important. And the counter spin, well, you put them together in a certain way. And we said with the fields, well, they just go on and on, spinning, 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 in ways that are intoxicating, and will remove the person into the light, and then they can go wherever they want and stuff like that. But it takes far more work and practice in the vehicle. But much like the crayon says, yes, you don't have to read the manual. How about just getting in the car and putting your keys in? Yes? Okay. So if you think about the color of the indigo or the gold, or combine them, and this is the multidimensional reflection or expression, the source for the pineal. And when they are all connected up so pretty, well, the hemispheres, they begin to become the gold too, and the throat, it has helped, and the heart, of course, is all connected with the mind. It's a beautiful meld. But can you not see? It must be anchored in the physical body, experientially, lovingly, and the female as well. Yes. We will now state a simple observation which has been reserved for after we are pleased to have published the crayon work on the Lemuria and gender dysfunction, gender equality, things like that. It was helpful, and we then further amplifications of this message. Yes. So what we have to say is this: it is known scientifically and is not shared widely. Some very simple biological facts which scream certain energetic truths. A zoologist or biologist will be able to tell you that differentiation and specialization is a tracer for evolution, higher function, meaning that the more specialized the creature, the more evolved they are. This is a scientific fact, a biological fact, and a pretty obvious one, is it not? Okay, consider this, please. Male and female bodies, nearly identical, truly. Mirrors of each other, yes, except for one organ. We would like to talk about this organ, but first we would like to simply talk about the biology. And then we talk about spin. They are connected, believe it or not. So, let us speak about the cloaca. Kitty cats have it. And this is, we would suggest just a express highway for reproduction and then elimination of all waste. It is Latin for sewer. And this is not specialized, is it? No, it is not. We can all agree on this. It's not a specialized organ. It is quite generalized. Consider the male human being and his penis. Well, it does two things, does it not? Yes, it eliminates a waste and then it also ejaculates, and so it does two things. Good. Now the female. A urethra, a vagina, and an anus. So 3. They are all doing different functions. But there is something more. We would like to bring your attention to the clitoris, thought to be a little tiny nub. Well, that is incorrect and shows profound ignorance of the human body. So let us educate you at this time, so you will understand more about the female and about self. The clitoris is a particular size at birth and in girlhood. And the clitoris is quite a large organ which spans through the pelvis and lines the urethra and innervates the pelvic floor. It is a phenomenal organ of sense. Its only function is that of pleasure, not the giving of pleasure, the receiving and awareness and experience of pleasure for pleasure's sake. This is its only function. It is a sense organ. So, as the woman grows, girl to woman, in young adulthood, so does this clitoral tissue. And by the time menopause is reached, it is 7 times larger than it was in girlhood. Can you imagine the power that rides in the pelvis of women? Can you appreciate the specialization, the evolution, and perhaps the importance of sexual expression in creaturehood? This is an important lesson to know. And we say now what this one would say to her baby when he would go on and on about his little penis, Oh, really, da. And he would have the questions and we were all answered, of course. And his mind was always blown. His eyes were big as saucers because Mama just would say blah, 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 and didn't really understand. But he only took in what he could take in. What he did understand is that Mama would say, yes, well, that's a very, very fine piece of machinery you got there. It's going to make you so happy for your whole life long. It's a very wonderful thing. The thing is that there are lots of wonderful things on your body. You got some elbows that are pretty cool. And the eyes, they're pretty cool too. So yes, it's a very important part of your body, but it's not the only one. So you see, normalizing this experience. And so we are talking about tissue, yes, we're talking about biological I don't know, truths. And for some reason this anatomical, physiological information is not well known in the public. Do you think that a woman might hold herself with a little bit more respect for her sexual expression, knowing what she contains in her biology? And that perhaps the teachings that have been sent down about female sexuality and sexual expression for each of the genders might be perhaps just a little bit unenlightened, not taking in basic information, which would be helpful, but which certainly point toward mysteries and may even require a certain shift in perspective. So this is information that is known in some communities, the sex positive communities, and those who are pleasure seeking, and this is of course a very good practice when done in responsibility, love, self, and other respect. So consensual always. Yes, well, you know, these people, they find that sexual expression is important, and so is sexual education. And so they take it upon themselves to educate themselves as adults in groups all across America. And this is co-ed. This is straight guys coming in. So the times, they are changing. And the reason we bring up this level of biology is simply because it's hard to spin an 8 right here, okay guys? But imagine here in the back of the head, multidimensional chakra. Here in the pelvis, multidimensional chakra. And they spin, and they spin, and they spin. We are not saying that males are excluded from this ancient knowledge, but you must see that it is not, we have said, it's just a girl thing, guys. It's not got anything to do with extra divinity or whatever. It's just a yoni thing. So, you know, respect what respect is due. And, you know, let's maybe take a look at some of the ways that women are taken care of. And treated and things like that. Because sooner or later women are going to catch up. And once you understand your worth, well, it's kind of hard to bully someone who understands she is worthy of great love, patience, understanding, devotion, honor, respect. And knowing this about herself, having given this to herself, and being able to give it to others, well, that is a free soul. And we would suggest this is the female state. Changes things, don't it? Well, this was mal expressed in matriarchies before, and there were adjustments, of course. And we've talked about the magnetic grid and the agreement field and la la la. If you want to know about that stuff, it's very esoteric. It's in the beginning. This one using her body to assist in some shifting that needed to go on prior to activating the 8 and spinning, spinning, spinning. So now we're going to sit her down on the recliner and we're going to spin. Nothing may happen, that's fine. She's hungry for something physical to happen again. Thrill seeker. And so, the spin, we would suggest, it is as simple as closing your eyes and considering yourself in the middle of a, well, no, not in the middle of, as a member of a circle of people who are very nice, let's say. Maybe you don't know any of them, but they're really nice people. And you don't mind sharing your energy with them, and they don't mind sharing the energy with you. They're pretty. So, you're all holding hands. And you can feel your heart, it's feeling good, and you feel kind of bright and light and pretty. And it'd be nice to just go through every single one of these people, to feel them and say, hi. So, you run your energy through your right hand and go phew all the way around, and it comes to you. Now, imagine your left hand holding another's, and this nice toasty feeling in your chest, and then you want to give love and say hello, and so phew, how does it run? Is it sluggish? Does it not want to go nowhere? Does it take some time? Is it as fast? Is it as happy? Well, these are all questions to ask as you see it move, because it will. And it will go and it will come back to boom. Now, imagine running both simultaneously. Imagine the center point across, farthest away, the energy farthest away from self, from biological originator of the energy, and then the return. Imagine what it feels like to have both energies return physically at the same time. This is a very helpful meditation technique, as is thinking on the number 8 or seeing it run through your body. Imagining this field, this chakra in the back of your head, and how it might hook up to everything. Is it possible? How does it feel? And consider your yoni or your lingam, and how it swells with life and passion and heat as you consider the 8 crossing through you, this Mobius strip of reality, of creative sauce, of white, crackling, beautiful light, filled with information and love. Beautiful thoughts to pass on. And we suggest that these thoughts are some a bit revolutionary. So be it. It's about time to think that this energy cannot and should not and will not be translated into the physical body and into daily life. Well, that's not a very wise way to proceed, we would say, because what is the point? Endless study, going to workshops, conjuring things in your hand? What about living full lives that are happy and well and adjusted well and balanced, aligned with creative mind, with creative love and creative spirit, with the creative sauce and spark, which of course you carry, but which is also available to be amplified. Spin, the kind of spin we are talking about, is moving through the layers, and we are going to just lead her on a little quest, and it's very pretty, it's very nice. We don't give a lot of information about some of this simply because each one is individual and each have their own filters. These are Koshik. They are ways to define reality, understand reality, and function within reality. So there is no right and wrong as far as what is believed. And we would say, this one was a Lutheran, and she does not find the services repugnant. Far from it. And the music is beautiful. And whatever sentiment she doesn't agree with, well, fine. Such is life. It's fine. The Jesus is there. So it's a good place to be. This is the idea. No one is doing it right or wrong. But for those who are interested in spin, in why it is that, spin's important, well, there you go. And we would say this idea of chakras, balancing and bringing in the chakras so that they are aligned and they are flowing, this creates a different reality. We've talked about the 7 chakra system and the limitations of it. It's beautiful, but it has limitations with spin, basically. From the 8 you can go to 12, and of course you already have the 12. But we will talk about all of that later. It's not important now. What is important is to open horizons a little bit and to realize that it is with this amplification of multidimensional energy that is available in the magnetic grid and is making the world so happy and making everyone feel so good who is remembering. Well, it's a fine time to be asking questions anyway, or watching a video of someone who is kind and wants to tell you neato things and who will hopefully make you feel better. Now, there are some very good videos on the YouTube that have to do with sexual health and with the clitoral organ and things like that. And we would say it is very wise to approach this in a biological way, in a rational way, because we would say that sexuality is rife with projections and with distortions and with things that have been chosen to not be explored and seen as valid and brought home, but instead pushed against and things like that. So to start in a biological sense and understand the physical vehicle, well, that's a very good pursuit. And it's quite as important to be understanding the male member and what it is that the beauty and the elegance and the power and the significance of their beautiful lingams, and that they too have suffered in this energy and have taken on distortions, as has the female. So, no harm, no foul. It was an agreement field. We have talked about what was turned down and what was turned back up. Long ago, go look it up. So, this is how we want to end. And oh, we are revolutionary, old broad, huh? Are you shocked? Did you not think that you would just get the spiritual stuff and no sex ed? Well, we would suggest that in this day and age, such a thing as sacred sexuality and understanding that you are an integrated, creative, sexual, emotional, intellectual being who is an expression of divinity. Well, that's a big deal and something that's well worth thinking about and exploring and researching to see if the lady might be telling the truth. So we say namaste and give you every bit of our love and wisdom and good humor and hope. Okay? Hope. Even if you find yourself having a limbo day, fear not and have hope. Namaste. and Selah.